This is the JLC's video blog for Friday, May the 26th. This week has been a heartbreaking week for all of us, and particularly for me as a proud Mancunian. The terrible criminal act in Manchester on Monday has broken the heart of a city and of a country, and has changed the nature of our politics and the way that we engage for the whole of this week. It was a terrible crime inflicted on the most innocent of people. One of the things that has given me great comfort, not just as a Mancunian, not just as a Jew, but as a member of the British society, is the way that the people of Manchester rallied around, opening their doors for people who were lost, providing help and shelter for those who were frightened, providing transport for those who wanted to get away, providing food for those emergency services that were helping. And I think the way that the emergency services have reacted, police, the army, the doctors, the nurses, has shown the very best of our British spirit. We now, of course, have a situation where the threat level has been assessed as critical at its highest level. So for us in the Jewish community, where we're always on high alert, nothing really should be different. Please cooperate with the police, with the CST, and anybody you see helping you to make sure that you're giving as much cooperation to them as you possibly can. If you see anything suspicious, continue to report it to the CST or to the police. Of course, it was entirely right that campaigning for the general election would be suspended, and unfortunately that's meant that a number of the hustings events that we had organised have had to be cancelled. We're going to try and rearrange as many of those as we can, but we may not be able to get them all in, particularly as next week is a short week, and I don't think we're going to be able to rearrange our Finchley and Golders Green hustings. It's small in comparison to what has happened, but I'm sure everybody will understand. Now, before the general election campaign was suspended, the big issue that was being debated was social care, and that is also an issue that we debated at our trustees meeting on Tuesday under our new chairman, Jonathan Goldstein. We are starting a process in which we are going to look forward at the social care provision for us in the Jewish community, what provision we make for the next 15 to 20 years, how we can fund it, how we can run our organisations as sustainably as possible. It's part of the strategic planning that I believe it's very important for the JLC to do, and this is a key area of strategic importance for the whole of the community. This week has seen Yom Yerushalayim in Israel, and I know a lot of members of the community have been out to Jerusalem to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the reunification of Jerusalem, and it's been great to see a lot of the celebration of those occasions. You know, one of the outputs from the Six-Day War was that for the first time for many years, Jewish people were freely able to go and visit the Jewish holy sites in the Old City and the Kotel in Jerusalem. And so now we almost take for granted that for the last 50 years, Jewish people have been able to go to Jerusalem to pray, to study, to celebrate, to be with their friends, and just simply to look around. And I think that with everything that people will say about the Six-Day War, and I'll talk more about next week, is one of the main benefits that there has been out of the last 50 years. This is not political. This is about the way that the Jewish people across all parts of the community are able to celebrate the centrality of Jerusalem to our religion and the centrality of Israel to our Jewish life. Next week is a short week. We have the festival of Shavuos. So on behalf of everybody at the JLC, I wish you a Chag Sameach, I wish you a good Yom Tov, and it should be a time of peace and security for all of us. Next week we'll talk a little bit more again about the Six-Day War, but until then I wish you a Chag Sameach.